Hey guys, thank you for joining me again. Today's topic will be something you ask on Facebook and in different platforms pretty often, and that will be mailing documents to the Czech authorities. So if you need to send some official documents, some mail to the MOI or to the embassy or just internationally somewhere, how to do it in the best way. So I'll cover three topics today. First, general mail-in documents internationally and within the Czech Republic. So what kind of service to use and what try to avoid. Second, mail-in documents to the embassy. And third topic will be mail-in documents to the Ministry of the Interior, how to do it in the best way and what not to forget. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I have a client scheduled for 5:30 now, so I have 19 minutes before he comes. So I'll need to be fast this time for sure. Okay, so first, generally, mailing documents. If you need to mail documents to a Czech embassy or for example, we at Move to Prague work with clients who are still in the country of their origin. So let's say in India or in the Philippines or in the US or in some other country. And we deal with their process from the Czech Republic. So sometimes we need to mail documents back and forth. They need to send us their criminal check or their marriage certificate, birth certificate. We need to get it translated. I did another video about that last week or earlier this week on Monday. And then we need to mail the documents back to them so they can submit the application at the Czech Embassy. And people often ask us, okay, what's the best way to do that? Some people say that they used Czech Post because they also offer kind of like international option of sending the documents, kind of fast option. I don't know how it's called. That it has like three letters name, and they say that they will deliver internationally with no problems. Honestly, I would not give my documents to important documents to Czech Post Office in any case. Especially if you want to send it internationally, I would never personally do it. If you send documents within the Czech Republic, we'll get to it. Then the Czech Post is fine. It's reliable. And especially if you know what options to use, then it's okay. But internationally, I would never give my original documents to Czech Post Office. First, they're not reliable, in my opinion. Second, they take forever to deliver the documents. And third, it's not only up to them because it's a Czech Post Office in the Czech Republic. But if you're sending documents, for example, to India, then it's not only about the Czech Post Office, but it's also about Indian Post Office and how much you trust that post office in that country the destination country. And I don't trust post offices in any country. So I would definitely not recommend sending any official documents by mail, like a post office, if they are important and you need to ship them internationally. Of course, there are different services. I don't know how TNT and all these. We've been working with DHL for many years, 7-8 years now, and we've never had a single problem with them. They've never lost our documents. They always deliver reliably. Even during COVID, their delivery time is internationally 3 days or 4 days. Sometimes we were sending documents to a small village in the middle of Brazil, and it took them longer because they don't have any branch anywhere close by. So they needed to hire some third party to deliver it or something like that. So it took a bit longer. But besides that, no problem at all. No lost documents, good communication, international delivery within 3 days, all around the world. So if I can recommend, definitely do DHL. They have a branch. If you're in Prague, they have a branch in Prague, so you can go there, submit the documents there. They will take care of everything there. If you cannot do that, we also have an account with them, online account, so we can order the shipment online, and we also have some discounts there. So if you need to ship some documents, you can come to us in Move to Prague as well. We'll be happy to ship it and just bill you the cost. But in general, I definitely, even if it's not through us, I generally recommend using DHL because they're really reliable, never had problems with them. So that would be definitely the international delivery. As for mailing the documents to Czech Embassy, because sometimes it happens that you, for example, need to mail some documents to the Czech Embassy. Either for example, in the US, it's possible to some kind of applications, for example, student applications, can be submitted via mail, that you don't have to physically go to the embassy, but you just mail your documents. And usually embassies tell you how to do that, because, for example, in the US, there is this thing that you, for example, send your physical passport and you put there like some return envelope, prepaid envelope, and they will send you the passport back once they make a copy of it. So not all the delivery or not all the companies offer this kind of service that you can have like a prepaid envelope. So if you're dealing with the embassy, I usually recommend following the advice the embassy tell you. So if they tell you use this courier service, do that. Even though I generally recommend DHL, and we use DHL for most embassies as well, if the embassy tells me, hey, we use this service, use this service, we do that. Because embassies are very specific places. It's usually not like you can just walk in and take the package or deliver a package or something like that. You sometimes need to have some clearance, or you need to know what exit or what entrance to use, all this. So not all the delivery companies can do that. So definitely I would follow the advice the embassy gives you. If you can choose, then definitely DHL again, because as mentioned, we only have great experience with them. Sandeep, hi, nice to see you. Thank you very much. Guys, Sandeep on YouTube is one of my Patreon followers and Patreon supporters. So I thank you very much, Sandeep, for that. And if you guys also want to join my Patreon, meaning that you will support me on monthly basis to provide valuable content for free every month, I'll be more than happy, and you will find all the links or the link to my Patreon account in the description of the video. Okay, so the third topic or subtopic is mailing documents to the Ministry of the Interior in the Czech Republic, because that happens very often. Either you can submit some applications via mail, for example, all extensions. If you have an employee card, you want to extend it. If you have a student residence permit, you want to extend it. If you have whatever, you want to extend it. All these extensions can be submitted via mail. The same if you, for example, are in the process, the ministry sends you a letter and asks you to deliver some additional documents. Then you can also, you don't have to go to the ministry in person and waste like a couple hours waiting, plus a couple hours traveling back and forth, because all the ministries are like super far away from the city center. So you can mail the documents. And that's the best way to do that, but you need to do it properly. So how to mail the documents to the MOI in the best and most reliable and safest way. Okay, so first thing is how you prepare the envelope. First of all, post office sells different types of envelopes. We recommend this, which is a special type of envelope called Securitex, which is a special envelope which cannot be torn apart. Okay, that's whatever I do, it's just it's firm and you cannot destroy it. So if you're sending some important documents, I definitely recommend this envelope instead of just the paper one. Because, okay, the paper one is like 2 crowns. This one is like 15 or something. But this will not get destroyed and your documents will not be destroyed. So I think it's worth paying 10 crowns more than to save 10 crowns and then lose like a document which will take you like 2 months and 20,000 crowns to get again. So definitely first thing is the envelope. Use this one, use the Securitex envelope, which is impossible to destroy basically. Okay. Second thing is how you write or what you write on the envelope. So first thing is that in the left top corner, you should write your name and your return address, because sometimes it happens that the document or the envelope cannot be delivered. And if you don't put here your return address, then the letter will be lost because they will not know where to return it. It will not be delivered, but it will not be returned to you because they don't have your address. So the document, whatever it is, will be lost forever. So definitely write your name and like delivery address on this in this corner. Then if you're sending some documents to the ministry, always write your case number here, because when it comes to the ministry, the person who will be sorting out the email, they will immediately see what case it is, and they will be able to give it directly to the person who is dealing with your case, meaning that it will not go from like one person to another. They will open it, then they will send it to someone else, and they will do it that it will go directly to the person who's responsible for your case, and you will save yourself a lot of time. Then to the top bottom corner, you should write the address of the ministry where you're sending it. And that address is usually the address, whatever the ministry sends you. If they send you some letters requesting some documents, some additional documents for your application, for example, then you should always send the letter to the address which is stated in the letter. Okay, because there is always the header, like the Ministry of the Interior, this and this branch, blah, blah, blah. Then the actual letter requesting the documents and the signature stamp of the officer, all this. So you should always use the address which is stated in the letter you received from the ministry. If you, for example, send in documents, like let's say you submitted your application for whatever employee card at the Ministry of the Interior in Chodov in Prague 4, and you know that you forgot some documents, or you didn't have everything at the moment of submission, but you haven't received any documents yet, and you want to send the additional documents before the ministry sends you any letter. In that case, this address should be the address of the ministry of the branch where you submitted your application. Okay, so if you submitted your application in Prague 4 and you want to submit some additional documents before you receive any letter from the ministry, then you should send it to the Ministry of the Interior office in Prague 4. Simple. If you're sending some general letter, or you don't know where to send it because it doesn't go to any branch in particular, or you send them some special application or a letter like a complaint letter or something like that, it's the best to use the general address of the Ministry of the Interior. You can find it on their website, but if you don't know exactly where to send the letter, if you don't have the address from the letter, or if you're not sending it to the particular branch, but if you just want to send some general letter, either requesting the status of your application or sending the complaint against inactivity because it's been taking too long for them to make the decision, always use the general address of the Ministry of the Interior. It will, or it might take a very long time to get it delivered because the general address is a general address. So all the mail for the ministry goes there. So someone needs to sort it out, then send it to the particular branch, and then within the branch they need to put it to or send it to the person who's responsible for that. So it can take a long time, but it will always be delivered, and you will always have a confirmation that you send it and that it was delivered. So if you don't know where to send it to the general address of the ministry. And now, how to send the letter to the ministry to make sure that it's delivered, they receive it, and that you have a confirmation of that. So first of all, we mail all the letters, first of all, in these Securitex envelopes. So you make sure that it's not gonna get destroyed. Second, we always send it so-called D+1, which means that the letter will be delivered the next day. So D+1, like day +1, meaning that the ministry will receive the next day after you put it into the post, which is great, and it's important because if you send it the standard way, the slow way, it can take a couple days to get it delivered. So there is a huge difference, especially if you're mailing the documents like a very last moment. Then this D+1 option is the best you can do because you can make sure that it will be delivered the next day. Obviously, if you send it on Friday, it will be delivered on Monday, so the next business day. But definitely always send it D+1 to make sure that it's delivered fast. Second thing is that you should send it as a registered mail. You should send all your letters to the Ministry of the Interior as a registered mail. That means that you will get a tracking number, and you can track if it was delivered and when it was delivered. This is especially important if you send some documents, like some additional documents to the ministry, because if they don't see it later, you can always refer to this number and say, hey, I sent it, this is the tracking number, it shows that it was delivered on this day. where are my documents? They were delivered to you on this date. Where are my documents? And then if you have this kind of proof that the documents were delivered, then it's a problem of the ministry if they lost the documents or if they cannot find them. But if you send it not via registered mail, then you have no tracking number. You have no way of verifying if the documents were delivered. And then it would be the ministry who has the right to say, yeah, but we never received anything. It's your fault. Your visa is denied. You're deported. Okay, so these are the basic rules or how to send the documents to the ministry or to the embassy to make sure that they're delivered in time, properly, and that you can track it and make sure that everything is all right. Chat Gurung, yeah, it's called Securitex. I don't know if it's visible, but it's called Securitex. It's a special type of envelope, which is very difficult to destroy, really. I will not do it right now because there are actual documents in this envelope, and it's an actual envelope for a ministry, but really we try to like tear it apart and it's not really possible. So definitely use this Securitex envelope instead of a standard normal envelopes. And yes, D+1 method. Thank you very much, Chet, for putting these into the comments so it stays there. D+1, D+1. That's the best method to do it because it makes sure that the documents are delivered next day. And of course, also use the registered mail option so you can track the mail and you know that it was delivered and when it was delivered. Okay, guys, that's it. I hope this topic was useful as well. It's just like a small thing, and like one could think that sending a document via mail to the ministry is kind of a simple and stupid thing, and everyone knows that. But no, I see plenty of questions about this on Facebook, especially. And obviously, of course, if you're from the US or India or Turkey or some other country, the mail system or the post office can work in a completely different way. So it makes sense that you might get a bit confused or that you want to know the local rules. So hopefully this was useful. Thank you very much for joining. And I already have a client scheduled for 5:30, so I need to finish the stream today. I don't see any questions from you today anyway, so it works out great. Hopefully this was helpful. Please join me next time as well. So the next live stream will be Monday, then again Thursday. I always do live streams every Monday and Thursday. So see you next time. Thank you very much for coming, guys, and bye-bye.